I will caveat, 7 seasons Champions League winner. Congratulations, Matt. I'm 7 seasons in the National League North. So I've not even got promoted. Never mind got anywhere near. Like, we aren't even allowed to watch the Champions League on the telly in my save. Like, we can't afford to watch it, right?
They've not got TNT. If it makes you feel any better, they sold Declan Rice and William Saliba to PSG and we knocked them out as well. So
I think that makes me feel worse. Especially with Declan Rice, man.
Oh, PSG in my save have got Saka and Haaland, which just feels unfair. Yeah, I know, it just felt unfair.
They've got Nico Williams on mine as well, and Musiala.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the FM Show. I am of course your host Tony Jameson, and joining me this evening is the full squad. We've got RDF Tactics aka Aaron Falloon, we've got Si Maggio, and we've got SecondYellowCard. Gentlemen, how are we? Aaron, I'm going to come to you first of all. How are you, my friend? Are you well?
Yeah, well, I'm knackered. I've got 3 kids, and all 3 of them today managed to drop off something and bang their heads. So, yeah,
brilliant.
It's been a very long day. I'm knackered, but I'm ready to hear Matt's save update because I know he's got.
You might not like the ending.
I love that. I love that. Right. So how are you, Aaron? Oh, my 3 children have hurt their heads, but I can't wait to hear about Matt's Champions League.
Salt to all wounds me.
Yeah, man, they've given me enough.
Stop crying, kids. We've got to hear the same update.
Literally,
Matt speaking.
Literally, and one of them was like one after the other. So as one is getting the cuddle, the other was climbing, and then bang. And
that's the worst one. Like, you've literally just seen them do that.
literally.
It's like a Rube Goldberg machine of childhood injuries.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel your pain, Aaron. I feel your pain. Like, we're like at time of recording, we are 1 day away from the end of term. Easter holidays are approaching, and my 2 are knackered. They're just like trying to like stay alive to like claw themselves to the end of term. So yeah, it's fun, and by fun I mean Si. Please take over. How's your life?
Well, I'll say if you want to know the exact time of recording, Italy's just scored a second goal. That's not good for Northern Ireland fans. But the other 2 matches are looking good. I mean, I'm sure listeners already know what the results of those are. So I don't know why I'm revealing them off like live.
They need this update.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Ireland and Republic of Ireland and Wales are holding on at the minute. But hey, World Cup qualifiers happening. Where's our World Cup mode? I want to know that. Like, wasn't it supposed to be end of March?
Yeah, Matt, how are you?
Technically.
Yeah. Where is the World Cup mode? I mean, there's still a lot of questions about where things are in FM26. But yes, the World Cup mode. Si, you can't start that early. All right. Where are things?
Hey, I got to last week. I went off tangent, so this week I'm straight on tangent. So where's the World Cup mode? Like, well, I know Matt's got a save update, so maybe we go to Matt and hear his big save update. Also, he's got a Malta shirt on. Have you got a Malta shirt on?
I do have a Malta shirt on.
Nice. He does have a Malta shirt. Have you got a hashtag? Have you got a hashtag goalkeeper kit on?
Unfortunately, Football Manager one. It's quite orange though, I'm realizing. But unfortunately, hashtag have had to apply. So hashtag were like, they're 1 league below what's playable in Football Manager right now, despite being sponsored by. I don't think they're sponsored by Football Manager at the minute. They might be sponsored by Top 11 or one of the other or UFL or one of the other football games. They seem to rotate football games or Lucozade or other energy drinks. Anyway, they are. None of which sponsor the pod. If any of them do want to sponsor the pod, you're more than welcome. They have applied for relegation. Which is interesting.
I'm sorry, Chris.
It was right there.
Yeah, he's just fastball straight down the middle. Like.
I'm not sure. You had to reach for that one there. It was a free ball, but you had to reach for it.
Oh, the goalkeeper moved out the way and everything just after you, sir.
Yeah. It was a good finish.
So, from what I understand, they aren't the only ones now either. A couple other teams have also applied to be relegated because none of them can afford the costs at that level. Now, it does happen to be non-league football weekend day. Well, I think it's Saturday is the day, but non-league football weekend because it's all international.
You need to have another run up at this side because you've got loads of words that you're trying to say at once.
Well,
so the football day, non-league day, Saturday day,
I would say to the listeners or viewers, go to your local non-league club, but it'll have been and passed by the time this goes out. So yeah, if you did go to a non-league game, let us know which one you did go to, and if you didn't, remember for next year that this weekend is non-league football
terrible
weekend.
Person.
Yeah, that's it. You can't believe you didn't go and support Duckington United in their local derby v Bunbury
Up the Quacks.
FC. That's it. Up the Quacks. So. Yeah, non-league football day, but it's not looking good down in non-league football. A couple of teams applying for relegation, which seems like a pretty wild move to do.
I mean, to be honest, we're talking about same updates. Maybe I'll do the same and apply for relegation just to get myself out of the Darlington.
You are still down in non-league, right, Tony?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've made a commitment to National League North. This is my FM 26 build a league. I think is my thing.
Report the same to 27.
Do you know what, Matt? It's brilliant. I'm making every team in the league really strong, bar mine. Every year we've got a new winner of the league. It's brilliant. It's a genius idea.
That's usually because they get promoted, though, isn't it? Like.
And that is literally it, yeah. Well, we'll come back to that in a minute. Matt, you sound like you're much happier than I am in the world of Football Manager. What's been happening, my friend?
Yeah, I accidentally won the Champions League really unexpectedly. I talked about this on the pod last week that we'd sort of, because this was the day that I got to the final, we bluffed our way to a final having never won a knockout game in the Champions League. And it was like, won the quarterfinal. Went, okay, sure. Beat Barcelona in the semi-finals, got Arsenal in the final. I was like, okay, they've knocked out Real Madrid, who are ridiculous. It's going to be okay. It doesn't matter. We got to the final. And then our left back broke his leg. So that was that. Oh. And so I had to play this 19-year-old lad who's 1.5-star C8. You know the type. But he's a bit of a match engine guy. So you look at his attributes and he's not much to look at. But put him in the match engine himself and all of a sudden he's beautiful. And for whatever reason, in that game, we kept it tight, did okay. First half, Arsenal were pretty decent as the half wore on. Our goalkeeper, who hates big matches, made a great save off Martinelli, and it was 0-0 at half-time. But you could see that it was starting to edge towards Arsenal, and the problem is they've got bench players, I don't. My best 11 is my best 11, and then the rest, it's like the slope definitely tips down quite a lot after that. So second half starts, and then out of nothing, we take the lead. A guy called Michael Fiedler, spelt exactly how you'd think his surname would be pronounced, or spelt. He's an Italian lad. And we're over the moon with it. And then all of a sudden, Arsenal get a set-piece goal. I know that's cliche, but this is exactly what happened. Arsenal get a set-piece goal. It's 1-1. Memes are writing themselves. And then literally second, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, straight after that, 2-1 Arsenal. We're cooked at that point. And so I was like, right, time to make some changes. Time to dick about with this a little bit. So I think I've made all my changes. And I'm about to go off the menu. That chat are like, no, you haven't actually changed someone. You've just moved some players around on the pitch because you've forgotten he's already in the team. So I click cancel because you know how it gets weird when you try to move stuff back and it's like, no, you can't do that. He's stuck there now. So I hit cancel. No problem. Go back into the substitutes menu, try to take Michael Fiedler off the pitch again. Or rather, I didn't this time because I was trying to make another substitute. But I forgot to remake the Michael Fiedler substitute. Then putting myself in a position where I had now used all of my substitution slots, but not all of my substitutes. So I now couldn't substitute the player I wanted to get rid of. So I threw it on attacking, and then 5 minutes later, Michael Fiedler scored the equaliser for us. So it's like the game was trying to say, yes, this is the strategy all along. So my incompetence led to the equaliser, and then we just kept on pushing. 90th minute, Spanish substitute, number 10, gets the ball in the corner. Bang, bottom corner, 3-2 in the 90th minute. Champions League, jobs are good. And 7 seasons and we've won the Champions League. Never run it so fast. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, that is incredible. I will caveat, 7 seasons Champions League winner. Congratulations, Matt. I'm 7 seasons in the National League North. So I've not even got promoted, never mind got anywhere near. Like, we aren't even allowed to watch the Champions League on the telly in my save. Like, we can't afford to watch it, right?
They've not got TNT.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, that fair play. I've got to applaud you for that. That is incredible. Where does that put the rest of the save then? Because that's like, you're like ahead of schedule now.
Massively. It's great because obviously the whole building a nation thing. The thing I like about, like, you win a Champions League, everyone's really happy, but then normally in a save, that'd be like, oh, that's it. That's the end. Whereas now, everyone in chat's just like, right, that's the first bit done. Now let's do the neat part, which is where everyone else has to be good as well. And so going into season 8, because obviously we didn't have anything else happen with the other Polish sides. We had a couple of quarterfinals in the Europa League, but our Europa Conference League team didn't even make it into the group. So this season it was like, right, make stuff happen for us, please. But nobody can be consistent. It's always the same one team at Cracovia stay up with us as the Champions League team as well, but they never quite get in the group. The others are all just constantly rotating. Like, we had Lech Poznan get relegated. So now they're back because they won the cup from the second tier, and now they're in Europe again with us this year. But this year, things have kind of taken a little step forward. We're still 7th in the coefficients overall, but we need the others to kind of catch up a little bit. And this is the year I think they do. Cracovia knocked PSV out in the playoff round of the Champions League, so they're in the group stage with us this year. So double teams in Krakow in the groups. They've already lost their first game, but it's fine. We've got 2 teams in the Europa League group stage, and we've got a team in the Conference League group stage. So all 5 of us are through this season. And I feel like this is where it really starts to step up. Some of the signings they've been making are crazy. They've been absolutely spamming Spanish lower league signings on their teams. There's one team that's got like 4 players that are worth like £30 million each. And they're all like 20 years old. So if they do sell them to someone, they'll earn loads of money. And if they don't, they've probably got some quality players there because the league rep is starting to rise now. And it feels like it's about to sort of start taking off. And I might be genuinely thinking to myself that we could actually do this time around. I've never managed to actually get number 1, but this could be the year. We just need to close down England's 70-point lead.
This will be incredible. The year that everyone stops playing Football Manager is the year that you actually build the nation and take it to number 1.
It made space for me.
Tainted.
Yeah, I did see Aaron's face during that Champions League final as well, going like, Arsenal bottled another trophy.
Yeah,
Good.
it's happened again. Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, they sold Declan Rice and William Saliba to PSG and we knocked them out as well. So
I think that makes me feel worse. Especially with Declan Rice, man.
Oh, PSG in my save have got Saka and Haaland, which just feels unfair. Yeah, I know. It just felt unfair.
They've got Nico Williams on mine as well, and Musiala.
Yeah, I think they have Musiala as well. They had some ridiculous. Yeah.
Hi, yeah.
It was a ridiculous team. I played them in my save. I managed to get a 1-1 draw. I was expecting to get absolutely battered, but at the minute we're holding our own in Champions League. I haven't won it yet though, so I've got a bit of a way to go. And I'm playing in England, so I've already built the nation. Easy, job done.
Yeah,
cheap.
Arsenal win again.
Started in first place.
Yeah, I was going to say you're flying in your save as well, though, Si, aren't you? So is that the thing with you then? If you win the Champions League, are you like?
Yeah,
are you going to stop?
Yeah, I will start my proper save finally at some point. Yeah, we will actually do a different save. But so I want to know where Matt's going to go from here. Then, like, is the plan just keep going? Like, I guess it is because you want to build the nation, right? But at this point, it's like, do you think you could do it again, or you think it was a bit of a fluke?
Oh, it was 100% a fluke. I mean, the way we played in the games was good because I think in 26, as we've discussed, like ad nauseum in many ways, is that you can make meaningful changes by watching the match engine, whereas you couldn't really, it seems like you couldn't do it as easily before. So it feels like we are still massively underleveled compared to, like, we're sort of taking on the Elite Four in Pokemon, but we've only got like 2 gym badges. That's kind of the way I feel right now. And my Pokemon aren't listening to me. And so I have to put them on, be very expressive. But it's like, we've just had a few fluky results. We've got some good players, but they're all still really young. Like, most of our squad is like 23 at the oldest. And now we're starting to get into that point where we're finding out if they like big matches. My goalkeeper doesn't like big matches, as was very evident in the final. Sold him to Spurs. Sorry, Chris. So he's now their problem. We've got £60 million for him, though. So, you know, all's well that ends well. So I figured it was a chance to sort of clean house a little bit, reinvest in some more younger players to try and have another go, but try to be more sustainable with it rather than just like a random fluke. And the idea being that obviously in the background, I'm still building up the loan farm. I think as of the end of today's stream, I've got 211 players out on loan. So we're getting there. It's building up slowly, and now some of the better sides are starting to take guys from us that are actually worth like £30 million on loan, and they're signing them themselves. It feels like it's like a thumb over the end of a hose, and it's just waiting for the right combination of things for them to really start popping off. And I think once we get sort of top 5, 6 in the coefficients to start getting those extra Champions League spots, it could actually pop off, and then I have to decide how we're going to deal with England, because they are, I think at one point, are 52 points clear. It's just ridiculous.
Are you manually managing each of those loans? Do you decide where they go?
I decide where they go. I use Transfer Room out quite a lot because you can actually, like, you know, the notice board thing. I can just see any team that wants them in our league. I'm like, right, you can have him, even if it's a first team player sometimes, because those are the dream ones. If they want a first team player of mine on loan and I can keep him out there for a decade, brilliant. I'll find another one. But I'm sort of manually managing them. I have the only problem is when you have to come to extend them. There's a glitch you can do where you can get a double extension, so it extends for 2 years instead of 1. So that's useful. But in the end, I got so bored of clicking 250 times down the screen that I basically built a auto hotkey macro that does it for me. So it looks around the page, finds the load extension buttons, and just goes down the whole list for me and just does it. I can just sit there and talk to chat. So that's good.
Wow.
This is another level.
Wow, I'm in awe.
I love how me and you, Aaron, both looked and just went, what the fuck's he on about?
I also built one that builds my transfer room in requests for me.
So
automate the boring stuff.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't know. There's enough stuff going on in game for me to do without having to. Oh yeah, and I've got my AI assistant as well to do more things. Like, I don't know. I'm too old for all this.
how's it working then? Is it like is it automated or is it like?
So basically, it's an auto hotkey script that is able to I give it a sample image and it's able to know where that button is on the screen based on coordinates as well as the like pixel colors. So as long as it should be where it's likely to be, it looks for the radio dials on the loan extension menu. So it ticks those, then it checks the panel to see if there's a proposed loan extension button. If there is, it's like a sort of series of codes that goes if this, then do that. And then it just took me forever to iterate through it and figure out exactly how I wanted to do it. So it just basically does it until it can't do it anymore and scrolls down the screen a certain amount each time. Because all it's doing is basically controlling my mouse. And I just sort of stand there and let it do it. And as long as I don't touch the mouse, it's usually pretty chill. Occasionally it drops out and I just press F8 again and does it again.
Does it work when there's an update and the skins no longer work? And you have to then recalibrate because the pixels are ever so slightly out.
I have to wait for the Mr. TD skin to be re-updated. That's the reason I don't like it. The other one I do for Transfer Room, that one does work because that's just default skin, and that one doesn't rely on any kind of image stuff. It just knows where things are on the screen because I did a bit of math that works out when you add certain numbers and ages into the menu, it moves the numbers around on the screen. So I had to do math to figure out where the numbers are supposed to be. It took a little while, but it does actually work now. So I get all my Transfer Room in stuff. I'm trying to make a bit of software that might allow people to custom make scripts using that for them. Ooh. But we'll see.
You could, I mean, that's like made me think of a few things that I've seen like the last couple of weeks. I don't know if any of you have seen Clates' fantasy football.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can run a fantasy football script if you're streaming, right? And it just appears on the side, and then the chatters can like choose which of your players are going to do well or not do well, and then they get points based on that, which seemed kind of cool.
So cool.
Yeah. And then I know a couple other people have been working on similar things. I don't know, a friend of the show, Dave Black, actually, I meant to check it out. Have you seen what he's been working on?
No. This is CM 97, 98, Dave Black,
He's been working on like a champion, I think it's called CM Championship Manager Duel or something, like CM Duel.
Oh,
like
is this the mobile thing?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw something about where they've created 0102 on a mobile. And then it updates the seasons with the actual databases. But I don't know if I read it correctly or not, but there's like a live auction as well to get your players or something.
Yeah, it's multiplayer.
Is it?
Wow.
Yeah. We might have to get Dave on to talk about it and show it off.
Right.
Like when it's nearly there.
There was FM Console had shared it to me, and I was like looking around going, okay, this looks good. And I followed the thread on Twitter about it, and I was like, okay, people are in on this. And the more I was looking, going, live auctions, I was like, oh my God, hang on, how does that even work? So, but yeah, if that's Dave who's done it, we'll get Dave on to explain it.
Yeah. Maybe we get Clates to talk about his fantasy football if he's interested.
Yeah, definitely. And we also need to get the Mad Scientist on as well, because he's got his latest retro database is dropped on Patreon as well. So
lots of exciting projects going
stuff.
I worked, so I built one. Like I built a little tool that a bit like, it's similar to Clates' one, but it's not the same. So Clates' one is like fantasy football. His must integrate with Football Manager. I don't know how it works out and how much the streamer has to manually input. Maybe the streamer just has to choose the goal scorers or whatever, or assists. Mine is like not connected to Football Manager. It's more like a little stream Football Manager game where every chatter gets a player, and the players like progress and get better, and then they play against each other. A bit like an auto battler that like works its way up the league, like a auto clicker game, but with chat. So it's simple at the minute, but it's like you can just do this stuff. And I'm going to say the horrible word now with AI. Yeah, I know you're shaking. Tony's shaking his head for the audio listeners. I was curious about this actually, and I guess this is kind of off topic, but I could relate into it relates into game development and stuff. So the use of AI, and we're like, obviously there's a big issue about generative AI in games before, and Football Manager sort of doesn't use generative AI, but also does, because I guess kind of like the way regen faces and stuff are generated is some form of simple generative AI. It's just their own version. And it's not drawing from reference pictures and stuff like that. So I guess it's like, well, yeah. Where does the, although I think they got better. Did they get better in the latest?
They have definitely got better. Yeah. The hair is really good now.
Yeah. So I don't know where's the line sit? Like, is like coding and using AI for coding, which apparently is quite normal in the industry now. Like is that bit okay? But then like, generative, like art, obviously something that's clearly more creative, but is that to say coding isn't creative? I don't know. Like, where does the line sit? And I've sort of as I've been making this, I'm like, is this ethical? And how many lakes have I drained in making it at the same time? But no, more is it like, is it ethical to like, because it's not really stealing from anyone if it's just code, right? Or maybe it is. Whereas, like, I guess that's the issue with the art and the video and the AI slop stuff. That's just being churned out.
I don't know how to feel about it, because it's being used in the field.
That's it.
When it comes to coding, it's like people are like, oh, if you're getting into it, then AI is there for you. And I'm like, wait, whoa, you lazy buggers! Why you should teach me yourself? Wait till me to use AI. But that's how it is nowadays. But with other stuff, I don't know. I get it. For me, for a thumbnail, I always just have to either do it myself or use someone. I'm not sure I can type in a command and get a thumbnail.
Yeah, I think from the creative side of things, I think when we're coming from a position of potential, like bias, maybe, I think, certainly the interest. Like, I personally feel as well, like, if it's something creative, I think you should probably learn to do it yourself. Really, that's the whole point of being creative. Is like, that's the fun, that's the joy of it, and it's meant to not look perfect. The joy is in the imperfection. Like, for me, I didn't like. And here's a tenuous link, Si. I didn't even like HD TV when it came out, and I'll explain
my screen so wide?
No, not the screen's so wide, but the picture quality was too clear. Like, people don't see in 2020 vision. I'm wearing glasses. Like, people don't have perfect vision, and when you look at it now, like, the screens, they're too clear. Like, and you look at 8K cameras, it's like, we don't need this. It's just it's just too perfect. You need the imperfection, and AI is coached to be perfect. You can't be like, oh, make me a thumbnail, but make it look a little bit shit if you can. Like why would you do that? Yeah, I can do that. Like, yeah, make it look like a 5-year-old's trying to draw it. I don't know.
Could that be part of some people's detachment with Football Manager? Is that now, when you're looking at the match engine, it's too perfect, rather than it used to looking quirky, and the whole like draw into Football Manager before is it's great, but it's imperfect, and we love the imperfections about the game, and we love the quirkiness about the game. It's a bit like you play Roblox, not expecting or anything like Minecraft, whatever it is. Like you're not playing it for the perfection. Otherwise, you'd be playing Grand Theft Auto, whatever it is. And I think that's maybe like with Football Manager. Like sometimes you look at the match engine, you're like, wow. But then it's like, do I need that dramatic every game? Do I need that every game, every time I'm playing a match?
I've seen a lot of people going back to Pro Evo 2006 or 8 recently.
2006
and
is so good.
Yeah, but like with like all kinds of mod packs and stuff. It actually looks kind of good.
The mod
like,
pack
especially
with the 99
upscaled
season on there as well. It's just like,
that's Pro Evo 21 or whatever. That's like
21.
That's a recent one.
Yeah.
But yes, that takes
so
it back.
good.
But these ones are like, no, they still look like slightly blocky heads, but they like updated with current teams and stuff.
But also still looks more advanced than FM26.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. It's a weird one, and it's like it's got a charm to it. It's got a feel to it, and I think like, well, at some point we're going to talk about Nutmeg, because I know you played it today, Matt, and myself and Tony have played the demos. So like, I don't know if we'll talk about it today or another week, but that also is like tapping into that retro vibe. And I think like with the project Dave Black's working on as well, taps into that retro vibe. And there is a bit of nostalgia for that. And like, you know, some of the best games the last few years, even outside of football games, some of the best games the last few years, like, I don't know if you played or seen Vampire Survivors. Or Mega Bonk. Yeah. Like both of these games, Mega Bonk and Vampire Survivors, very similar games, but one's 3D and one's not. But graphically, you'd think that like Vampire Survivors was from like 1990, 1991. Mega Bonk from probably like 1999, like a PlayStation.
It's very PS1, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. But obviously, like, you know, crisp, right? Because if you actually go back and look at a lot of PS1 games, they need upscaling and stuff. So it's interesting that like, maybe that's not the most important thing. And I don't know if any of you saw the news last week of DLSS 5, which NVIDIA rolled out. If you're not familiar with this, I can briefly explain it.
Go for it.
Okay, basically it's the latest form of what's the least technical way of putting it? Graphical representation of, I don't know, everything in your video game, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I've seen something.
Yeah, so the latest one that NVIDIA rolled out, was it NVIDIA? I think it was NVIDIA.
Yeah, I think it is NVIDIA,
yeah, it was the NVIDIA. So the latest one that they rolled out, basically AI-ified, like it just had AI built into it. So it would AI the characters' faces to make them look better, right? People hated it. They absolutely hated it. They were like, there's no consistency. It looks wrong. It's like, I prefer the imperfect, lesser version than this AI version that's like, just feels inhuman, right? Like doesn't feel like a person designed it, and like between scenes they'll look wrong and stuff, because they were showing it over loads and loads of games. I'd be curious like what would happen if you applied it to Football Manager, and you know what would happen if they would actually like improve their faces. They did show FIFA. I actually think the FIFA demonstration of it was the worst, because I barely noticed the difference between, they showed Virgil van Dijk FIFA or EAFC Virgil van Dijk like before and after they put the filter on, and I could barely see the difference in that one, because
that game's just so dynamic. Like how would it?
And it shows how good the face scans that they actually use for EA actually are. I do wonder if there was like a study done that used this DLSS 5 with like a double blind thing with like a control group, because the problem I think I have with it with the reactions is sometimes you just go, yes, well obviously you know it's AI and you don't like it, which means you're obviously going to say that you don't like it. I'd like to see one where they don't know that and they think it's just new graphics that haven't got that in it, because it's the same as when you see new graphical engines come out back in the day, people will be like, oh my god, that's a huge step forward, because it does look like more realistic or whatever. Not to say that's good or bad, because ultimately a video game can still be aesthetically pleasing without looking realistic, like you say, with Mega Bonk and Vampire Survivors and that. But it's tough without knowing if that's just people's inherent biases one way or the other to like or dislike something, rather than actually being like good or bad. I suppose it'd be really interesting to see some studies done into that kind of stuff, basically, to see how the human brain reacts with the whole uncanny valley type of thing. It's got very deep.
It's interesting because I didn't know anything about I just saw the video. Like, I didn't see anything about like how it was made. So I didn't know there was anything about AI or anything. I just saw this thing that is just graphically changed, and then it's just one of those things. It's like, what's the point? And I just like scroll past it. Like, I didn't think like some things just look different. I can't say that it looked better, Like things just looked. I don't know how to say it. It just looked equally as good. Great graphics. It's just different. Like maybe it just looks like it come from a different studio. I don't know how to explain it, but it equally looks good. It just looks different.
Like if Family Guy animated The Simpsons.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought it's just a new thing that other people have to pay for.
I wonder if it would work with. I don't know what it requires to work with Football Manager, but I'm curious what it would do to like the graphics and how Football Manager looks. Because I assume this isn't like out in the public yet. I don't think it is yet. So it's going to be on.
But I don't know, because even with Football Manager, right? I remember previously there's still many 2D players, right? They just still love the dots on the pitch.
Yeah.
And then this year they were trying to, and they're even complaining about that, about the way it just feels different. It looks different. Obviously, the dimensions were a bit off. I noticed that, but it's just the ball size was different, the dots were different, everything just felt different. It's just like you're even trying to make this look better when the whole point and why people used it before is that it reminded them of way before you even added the 3D into it. Like it didn't need any freshen up. People loved it because of how it looked.
Yeah, I think people used to play it and fill the blanks in themselves, like in the visual. Like when they watched it, they went, right, okay. Say for example, you watched it in 2D. In your head, you're seeing the game in 3D because that's how you would interpret the game. That's certainly how I did it anyway. And then even when you saw the first 3D engine, you were just like, all right, it's not brilliant, but in my head, I'm still going to play it as if it's Match of the Day or as if it's Sky or whatever. And I think, we knew obviously they were going to move to a new graphics engine and push forward and bring the game, forward a bit. It's still not into the 21st century. It's still, got a few more iterations to go, we think, before they're showcasing the full power of what they can do, which I think we all sort of understood. And there was obviously a big cry from certain sections of the fan base saying, look, we don't need to touch the graphics. It's not the graphics that we buy the game for. The game is more about what's under the hood. And, we can understand that point, absolutely. Graphics don't make good gameplay. We know that. It's, but, there is that thing of, from our perspective as creators, in a visual platform, the game does need to look better to bring in new people to come and play it. So it's a very difficult balancing act, I think, that SI had to play. And again, we've spoken about this, to use your reference point there, Matt, ad nauseum. We've certainly done that a lot. And is there a right or wrong answer? I mean, ultimately, the game has to pull itself forward a little bit, regardless of whether that's what everybody wants or not. We're here now. The game looks a little bit cleaner. But then ultimately, that wasn't the bit that is the driver of the game. And there's still people saying, well, there's no immersion. It's like, it's all well and good looking great, but if there's no soul and there's no, life and body to it, then it's just a facelift, isn't it? That's the thing. And it's like...
that is literally the thing. It's like before, say FM24, it's clearly been at the gym for years. It is ripped, but it was wearing bin bags at times, and that was often holding it back because people would see it walking down the street and they'd go, I'm sure it's lovely, but maybe a shopping trip or two. And I think it's like the barrier to entry for new players, perhaps, when they see the bin bags or whatever, it puts you off a little bit. Because to me, with FM, the graphics aren't going to make you stay. They might get you there, perhaps, if you're a newer player. What makes you stay is the gameplay loops and the mechanics. Whereas now, it almost feels like it's wearing like a Gucci suit, but it's just sort of, it's got my body instead. Like
it feels like, and I hate to use this comparison, it feels like it's had its lips done and a facelift, and deep down, it's still got no personality. And you're just like, do you know what? Yeah, you fucked around with your face, but you're still a boring cunt, aren't you? Like, just that's where we are.
Part of me
whereas
hopes
before it used to be a bit rough around the edges, as you say, Matt, a bit rough around the edge. It had a bit about it, and it was good. It's just like fine.
Yeah,
it's the imperfections.
So he's got no idea where to go with this, does he?
Well, I was going to say something. I was going to say.
Like, the word is there, but it's not there.
Tony run with his analogy. I hope that So then this is the thing, like, obviously we're at a point, I feel like we're sort of at like another one of those inflection points with technology, sort of as we were. I think a few years ago, it was hard to imagine where the next big leap in technology was going to come. Or, you know, maybe we sort of had an idea it was AI, but AI has been promised for like, it's like flying cars, right? And then suddenly it's there, or electric cars. Oh, suddenly they're here now, right? It was always 10, 15 years, and now suddenly they're on your doorstep. And you're always going, oh, we were promised flying cars as a kid. So are we at that point now where we're about to get like another big boost in technology? So Football Manager, it like as a game, is about to, or I mean, even the way games are like both designed and interactive with. I'm just sort of thinking like about, you know, I mean, you've been able to do macros for years, but what Matt's done with a macro, just like the ease of putting it in, so he's got his macros to automate his activities in game, and that interactivity with game, and the way Skinners and things have had to go about putting stuff in the game this year, as opposed to like previous years where maybe it was a bit more open to being moddable, but also like you would have never been able to do stadiums previously. I wonder if we're at like at a point where it's going to open up the ability for people to do this, make it easier for people to do this, and people just customize in a way their own experience to how they like much easier. And I think that could lead to some really cool stuff creatively. But it could also present some problems, I assume.
So with that, can I ask a question, right? Because I think I agree with the point. I agree with the point because my kids, Aaron, I don't know if your kids have done the same, but will watch YouTube videos of Grand Theft Auto that's been modded. So it's like Spider-Man in a car driving around, like, or there's like some like he's Lightning McQueen or whatever, like, and it's like, so it's like, right, okay, that looks mint, right? So because Grand Theft Auto looks mint, my question is going to be, right, off the back of this, you're saying when's the next, you know, leap in video games? Is it when we get the next new gen PlayStation, new gen Xbox, and that then takes us up again another level? Because I mean, Grand Theft Auto is going to come out in what, 2042 possibly. You know, it's going to be another leap, and that's again that still looks graphically pretty decent, even though it's been around for about 10 years. I just started thinking of like these like step ups in technology. They tend to coincide with the next gen consoles. And how far away are we from PlayStation 6 and Xbox S 1.5, S2 or whatever they're going to call it? And is that the next step up? And because I think we're always playing catch up as Football Manager players. We know that, and we're sort of all right with it, to be honest. We don't want to be at the forefront of technology. But is this, you know, when is the next thing?
I don't think
is it around that.
No, I don't think so. I think because, the increments in hardware are getting smaller and smaller, right? Diminishing returns on hardware and what you can do with it. And what game, well, until the recent AI boom, let's say, or bust as it might become, the increments in what you could do with a team of, 20 devs has been diminishing over the last, like, look at games from probably about 20. I mean, what's Grand Theft Auto 6 now? That's almost 13 years old, 14 years old. In fact, I think it's over 13, 14. I think it's 15 years old. I think it was 2011 it came out. It came out on PS3, right?
I think it was 2013, wasn't it? I swear. Or
Yeah,
2012.
maybe. It was like one of the last PS3 games. And then PS4 was like a bit of an upgrade over PS3, but PS5 to PS4, most games are still right now coming out on PS4 and PS5. Like, because the upgrades aren't there. And, you know, there's obviously this Xbox S and Xbox X, and if there's even going to be a next Xbox, I think they've just announced that there will be. But the Switch is obviously like doing well, but the Switch is like well below where PlayStation and Xbox are in terms of hardware power. So like in terms of the power, there's diminishing returns. Also because the cost is going up, right? The same 32 gig of RAM that you bought 10 years ago is now triple the price.
That's because your AI is slopping it. You know?
Right, because of the AI. So the hardware side of it, I think, is not going to improve, which is where the boosts most of the time have been in the past. But there are some exceptions. The internet, of course, was another point in which everything changed, right? And then the proliferation of easy, accessible, high-speed internet into people's homes. You imagine the difference between PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, like that era is like, most people didn't hook their PlayStation 2 up to the internet. They did get a modem thing, but very late on. And like that's when everyone had to. Remember when you had to like kids won't know this. If you're under the age of 30, you probably don't remember this. But you used to have to ask your parents if you wanted to go on the internet because they had to. No one was allowed. No one was allowed the phone for a couple of hours, and you had to ring in it, and go and do that little noise.
Sound like a right old bugger. I remember the days before the internet. So
that also, yeah.
We didn't have internet at home. Watch the 4 channels on the TV. You know,
I was lucky. My parents worked for IBM, so my first exposure to the internet was quite early because they had it at work, right? Because IBM were people working on the internet. So I went in and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" They were like, "You can go on this website." It was like Yahoo or Alta Vista or something. Where search engine Google did not exist for sure. It was Jeeves or it was something like that. AOL search. So it was like you could search for things, but they were very basic search engines, and who knows what you would find. The Wild West days of the internet. So you could argue it's
much better now. You won't find anything dodgy on the internet now.
No. It's cleaned itself right up the internet.
It's a bit less of a Wild West and more the gangsters have taken over now. So we're going for our 1930s New York period. So the
Prohibition internet coming in shortly.
That's it, yeah.
Speakeasies with internet cafes.
Yeah.
It is going to be
that way. Website and it becomes like a little puppy dog shop. Just like, oh look, nothing to see here, officer.
Yeah.
You want to access social media, eh? I got some of that.
Got so many Twitters.
Some guy opens up a jacket and he's got all different social media handles
Just
on the
iPads.
inside. You want to? I've got TikTok. I've got X. So I think going back to my point.
This one.
Oh, you're looking for rage bait. I could do a deal on rage bait.
Bebo.
I hope Andy Carroll's Bebo is still out there. There's Andy Carroll. Oh, there's 2 players. There's Andy Carroll and Jordan Henderson. Both of them. I think it's Jordan Henderson. Their Bebo accounts are because they were like young players at the time. Their Bebo account. They're like so cringe, but also you imagine like yes, we also had Bebo accounts like this. I think I only logged into a Bebo account like twice and then just never used it again.
I never had a Bebo account. I can proudly say I never had a Bebo account.
I think I had one.
I just
very
had everything
briefly.
else.
I definitely had a Bebo account. I just can't remember how regular I used it.
I think I just had it because there would be one friend who wasn't on like MySpace, right? Facebook, or I think it was also because Facebook was like university only at the time, so I only had uni friends on Facebook before they opened it up to the masses before it went downhill. No offense.
I'll
rephrase it. Before they let my parents on it. That's how I'll phrase it. Before they let my parents on Facebook, it was okay. It was okay.
My mom.
Yeah, and
that's just
I don't like Facebook now. I don't even see updates from friends. I don't know the last time I posted to Facebook. And I sometimes now most of my Facebook notifications are it telling me that I did something 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's memories, isn't it? That's all it is.
And it's like 15 years ago you posted eating breakfast, and I'm like, why did I post that?
Or it's a load of groups you're not in. Like just hey, look at this, and then just ads. Obviously,
around like I can't remember how many years ago now. But every time I look at this, I start every word with a capital letter. Like, I don't know why I used to write like that. Now I read it back, it just bugs me.
Every sentence is a song title.
Yeah.
When's the album dropping?
I'm generally gonna go through my memories now and see what's popping.
There was a little in between period of Facebook where it was like everyone was on Farmville or Rat Pack or
Mafia Wars.
Mafia Wars, right? There was all
I
like
was
these.
None of them. I was like,
there was
like
these
Candy Crush thing.
Candy Crush on mobile. I thought maybe there was Candy Crush on
Mrs.
Facebook.
J was a Farmville. And a Candy Crusher. Yeah.
And you'd send you remember you get all the notifications and be like, I don't want to start another one of these games. Like, just stop sending me notifications for this game. You had that one friend because the game would tell him to spam everyone.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sort of glad we're past that bit of game.
And every game was the same anyway. It just had a different skin on it, basically.
Oh yeah.
It was the exact same game mechanics, just with different names.
Yeah, Mafia Wars and Farmville were the same. I think they literally did the same thing. And then they came to mobile. Like they moved all those games to mobile. Like not Clash Royale, but what's the one that's like
Clash of
maybe
Clans.
Clash of Clans, yeah. Clash Royale's a spin-off of that, isn't it? Yeah, Clash of Clans is basically the same thing again. So Simpsons tapped out. I'm glad we don't. I mean, there's like, I mean, have you ever tried the football management? I'm gonna bring it back on topic. Have you ever tried the football management game?
I think Aaron's logged into his Facebook. Hang on 2 seconds.
26th of March 2014. Why does the Catamol shirt always look too big?
At least this is a good comment.
Oh my days! Yeah, sorry, carry on. Sorry, I'm reading through this. This is.
I want more of this. This is brilliant.
Yeah, I
We
want
want
the
it-
tracks to your album.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's track 4, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right, this
that's
next one is
excellent.
called "Why Is Lee Catamol's shirt too big?" Right.
Is there a
You're
way to go
special.
back like
Wait,
really
what?
far? Or memories? Does
March
that do it?
2013. You're special, especially your speciality. It's mental.
There you go. That's a closer. That's like
Yeah.
a 7-minute prog rock track.
What's going on?
An 11-minute keyboard solo.
Yeah.
you go.
Kind
Oh,
of
there we are.
noodling in
Football
between
manager
as well.
time. No distractions. Wow. 26th of March.
Yeah, my 26th of March is going to see England, because I think didn't it used to say your name and then what you're doing. I think it did,
you're
right?
outside.
It used
Yeah,
to be
yeah, it
like,
did,
what are
yeah.
you doing? But now that just looks like it just says is going to see England. It doesn't say my name. My name. It doesn't say Simon is going to see England. I think like that. Yeah, I went to see England v Ukraine. Yeah, that would have been about the time. Yeah, we would have been playing in a qualifier, I guess, or a friendly. So yeah, same as what's happening right now. I don't know who England have got tomorrow. By the way, both Wales and Ireland have bottled it in their matches so far.
Have they actually?
Well, they're both in extra time at the minute, so they were winning, and they haven't fully bottled it. But we'll see what happens. Again, listeners
lid
will
is
already
off.
know what happened. yeah. Are Malta playing a qualifier?
They were playing a Nations League playoff game against Luxembourg
yeah.
earlier, but I believe they lost. I blame the shirt.
Oh, they lost to Luxembourg.
Malta are not good.
Yeah, but what, you're suggesting that Luxembourg are the Argentina of the small nations?
Luxembourg are the Beneluxian under. They've got some players these
So,
days. There's actually a couple of good guys.
Who's other nation? Malta.
There's-
Yeah, but Luxembourg
I
have
would
lost.
say
have
Luxembourg,
lost.
because Luxembourg will have a lot of dual nation players, right?
yeah, they've got loads of them. They've got the Teal
Yeah, they
brothers.
do.
They've got Gelson Fernandez, I think. They've got
The
some
Swiss.
actual like.
Swiss, isn't he? Yeah.
They've got
Who's
a
the
few Swiss
who's the
guys too.
Luxembourg?
They've got him, a
Who's-
Swiss version of him. They've
They've
got
lost
players.
Brian Maggio though, as we discussed last week. As someone pointed out, yeah, he can appear for England now. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Brian Maggio. I sold him in my save. I ended up making a big bank for him. I know we were on about whether you sell your players last week. I meant to sell him for like 40 million, and I hadn't really used him for 3 seasons. So yeah, they're making some. I need some money because I'm in a lot of debt. And do you know what? I keep getting a takeover notice in my game. I don't know. Like every time I get a
Me too.
takeover notice, I'm like, at last. And then I see internal takeover and internal takeover. Internal. My heart sinks. I'm like, I don't want to. Don't give me another Eisner. I don't want another Eisner taking over my club. Let me
Or Si
like.
Maggio only having to
I know,
make do
yeah.
with £400 million on a transfer kit. God,
I don't have the budget.
There we go again.
These clawing
Of
players.
Paying free classic.
I'm like, give me a good takeover. I see Man City had another takeover. Chelsea had another takeover. I'm like, those boys don't need takeovers. Give me a proper takeover.
I think in real life, Si, I think you'll find that they probably do
I
need
imagine they
takeovers in
probably
real
do.
life. There might soon be a ruling that says they have to.
Is there? Is that something of like?
Oh, I mean, look, let's
Chelsea,
be honest.
maybe,
We
but-
both know that it's never going to happen, that neither of them are going to get anything. But, you know, it would mean, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you know, it would certainly send it would send a sort of signal out to quite a lot of people going, maybe we start to look to withdraw funds from the Premier League now and not look to invest, because if like they're not going to change the investment rules. So I don't know, might have a
Well, I
thing.
think
So I
that's-
can't imagine they're going to do it.
I think that's why Chelsea's punishment was quite was relaxed a little. So basically, Chelsea have got a punishment now, and I'm pretty sure it should have been more severe, but because it happened under Abramovich, and the current administration has complied, that they've like waived it a bit, which I think like maybe is fair enough.
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, there is apparently a couple of redacted individuals apparently who clearly know nothing about it, who may or may not still be redacted, currently working for Chelsea, allegedly. So yeah, I'm sure it's all clear and above board, as all football transactions are. Man City, I'm sure, will be absolutely fine for their 115 charges. Not a single bit of bother found there. And then
the Championship's the what, like the Portsmouth, going back to the Eisners, Michael Eisner was saying like it's just not sustainable, the Championship at the minute.
No, I mean, look at Sheffield Wednesday. They unless they get officially taken over, which again I'm not sure if it's fully gone through yet, this new takeover, but there's talk of them starting next season with minus 15 again. So
yeah, I mean, we operated at a loss and we didn't really spend anything. We're one of the lowest spenders in the league, and we're at a loss. Like other teams must be hemorrhaging money, and like all with the hope that they get like the Birminghams and Wrexhams. Like it's all well and good while it looks like they might go up, but what happens? 5, 6 seasons, 7 seasons in the Championship? We're going to see some more
stagnation happens. It just, like anything, what goes up must come down unless it's got some kind of sustainable cash flow underneath it, which ultimately, if you are literally just burning money and there's nothing coming in, then it's not going to ever be able to sustain itself. So the second the rich people or consortium, whoever's in charge of any club, get bored, this is how clubs go completely to the wall. And it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if anyone does, but I'm surprised that no one trying to takes that sort of, I don't know, I don't want to call it the Brighton approach. I feel sometimes you're giving a bit too much credit to Brighton, because there's many clubs around Europe that sort of do it, especially in like Scandinavia, just anywhere in Europe, but particularly you see it in Scandinavia, where they are focused on that development and then obviously looking to make a profit on those players. And it's, I don't know, I don't see like a club in the Championship that's sort of, I don't know, that prioritize that sort of approach.
I'm actually tough for a club in the Championship.
Sustain.
Particularly with the player work permit rules and stuff, it must be really difficult for them to attract the exact type of player that, because obviously Brighton being a Premier League team can attract those guys, and they can attract a slightly higher caliber that might be able to meet the work permit rules. Whereas I feel like a Championship club might not be able to get those exact same. They'd have to go for the tier of players underneath that.
Especially now with the points. But even if you're just doing it within England, right?
Just go for like League 1, League 2 players and trying to like promote from within.
Yeah,
don't the Championship Championship have that?
Obviously, you can find your certain market.
Don't the Championship have that rule where you can add foreign players in who don't meet the criteria?
No, but that's the thing, right? Because there are clubs doing it, but they're, like you said, sustainable. They're doing it more in an expensive way. That they are going to these nations, but they are, instead of like the money I'm talking about, they still are spending 8 million, 9 million on these players. I can't remember who Ipswich bought from like the Danish league. From like, it was ridiculous.
It was Nigel Farage they've just bought Ipswich, I believe. Yeah, right winger, I believe. They were lacking the right winger. So
funny enough, this player is a right winger.
Yeah,
but it was like £80 million. It's just like clearly you can go and explore these markets. But Portsmouth sort of did it, right? They went to Australia.
Yeah, we got loads of Australians in. I don't know why.
So like it's possible, but they you sort of have to find a market, right? I thought it was a risky approach. I wouldn't say like it's exactly paid off, but they're within the league, right?
The Australian one's kind of smart because culturally, like you don't have to worry about like the resettlement and stuff. And I think visa-wise, it's easier as well, right, for Australians coming to UK. Like I reckon, like for Championship teams, probably scouting like Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I'm surprised it's not done more, but
I just still think, like I don't know. For a lot of clubs in England, I think it happens way through the tiers, and there's always this thing is like suit the English football, suit the English football, suit the English football, and I think that's like another reason why partly why, especially down the lower leagues, you don't see like teams taking that risk. I always think that there's good footballers. Anywhere you look, there's always going to be good footballers.
Where do you go in game? Where do you go in game? Go on, Football Manager. Where do you go? What's your go-to country? And why is it Brazil?
I'm trying so hard not to say Brazil.
Okay, forget Brazil. Colombia. I always go Colombia.
I'm a Scando. Oh, Ivory Coast,
Yeah, a bit of Asec Mimosas, Generation Foot in Senegal, Ghana, Asante Kotoko.
Yeah.
Those are my boys. Those guys, because like 100k, and then you've got a guy that could have like 160, 170 PA. They are.
Yeah,
I don't know. It does. Or it tends to be like something like Serbia or something like that. I mean, Serbia a few years ago used to be insane. Now talking about flipping youth football, Serbia. I think they beat England under 19s 3-0. And their team for an under 19s is insane. And they've got like 2 players in there who are captains at their actual clubs in Serbia, which is so they've got like one team's like got a 17-year-old captain. One's the Bournemouth centre back. Obviously, he's made his move. But this is what I mean. That maybe there can be some sort of rules. I know there's a rule in Serbia. Like every team, there has to be like a teenager or 2 on the pitch at all times. There's some sort of rule, and maybe something like that as well has to be in place in tiers in England.
Yeah, maybe the captain has to be English
And 17.
and
slash Serbian.
It's crazy because like you watch the English youth teams, right, and like they're all brilliant footballers, especially like Chelsea, but they're just that step from that youth academy football to actual league. It's such a big difference for them compared to other nations, and they do try where this is where like the lower tiers do, but then it is sort of hit and miss, right? You get a player that it doesn't adjust, then it doesn't adjust to the professional football.
You could get like some players like Harry Kane just take a little bit of time. You know, he was at Millwall, he was at Leicester. Was he at Millwall? Or Beckham as well. Beckham did Preston and what was Beckham's other team? Preston and someone else. Did he
go to Belgium perhaps? Man United, I think, had quite a strong link with a Belgian club at one point, didn't they?
Anderlecht or something, didn't they? Or
was it
weird? I know Kane had like a couple of teams, but it was strange.
Kane was at Leicester at one point.
But Norwich.
Oh no, it was only Preston.
Kane was Norwich, yeah.
It's funny because I'm trying to give examples, but these clubs are not like exactly top of the
Kane
table
did
right now. But yeah, there was Norwich as well. Norwich took gamble on to exploring different markets.
So Kane went to Orient, Millwall, Norwich, and Leicester, which is crazy. They didn't play him at Norwich barely, but he was looking quite good actually at Orient and Millwall. Good goal return.
True, Sunderland did it, to be fair. Like, well, in the Premier League, but they actually just did. She's like started exploring different markets.
Yeah,
they brought a guy that played like I don't know how many games in. Where did you just buy that winger from? In the winter, it's like he's got just little experience.
Angulo from
no, there's another one. There's another one there, but like just little experience. Just for
the goalkeeper we've got in at the minute. So like Roofs is out injured, who again has been like one of the finds of the summer anyway. And the goalkeeper we've got in now, Elborg, hasn't even played first team football, like at his club in Sweden. And we're like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's been like a pro for like 3 years, not played first team football. And we're like, yeah, he's good enough. And he's like our first team keeper at the minute, which is madness. Absolute madness.
That's certainly like obviously recruitment that just has full trust. Obviously.
But this is the thing though, Aaron, like, and you'll know yourself, it is about having that trust in your recruitment team rather than going like, oh, we need players who've got Premier League experience. And I always hate this phrase, Premier League experience. You don't need Premier League experience. You want Premier League quality is what you want. It's two very, very different things, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think that sometimes they need to look and go, take the risk on the unknown player, flip them for the big money, rather than going, you know, here's the lad who used to play for Man United's reserves. You don't just have to buy him. Like, you don't have to buy the lad from Liverpool at 40 million quid because it just 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. Like, that player's not good enough. Like, even for the team that's the step down, and then, you know, eventually they become Ryan Brewster, you know, and it's like it's never going to be a good strike, like never going to be worth the money, you know. You're paying for the club that they come from.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest things that you sort of learned the difference between like Premier League quality and then someone that has like the Premier League experience.
But you see it in game as well, and like I had this when we were scouting, and like I'm in this weird moment where 7 years in, I've got players that have been released from Premier League clubs who might have had a bit of ability at the start of game, and like people are like, oh yeah, he's turned up well on my game and that, and I don't know who these players are because like why would I? And like I had it once, someone had cropped up and went, oh, this lad he plays for Liverpool, and I was like, right, well I'm 6 seasons in. And he's a free transfer. I'm guessing he's not that good, right? And they're like, oh yeah, but. And I was like, no buts. He's not played in 6 years. And I'm in the National League North. So yes, he's probably about the standard I look for, but let's ignore where he came from this moment in time now. Like we have to look at what is the player? Like, is it good enough rather than going, oh yeah, they came from Man U. Like I'm at the level where I'm going, oh, he played for Stoke. Like that'll be good. That'll get him in.
I got Leone, the Liverpool Mexican. I think he's Mexican, right? Mexican.
Italian, huh?
Are you Italian or is he? No, he's
Italian.
Italian, I think, yeah.
Italian, Leone. They did get, they got a Mexican player as well, didn't they? Yeah, he is Italian. Sorry, they did get a Mexican player. I'm sure they got a Mexican player. Oh no, Man United got the Mexican. Yeah, Leone's Italian. So yeah, Leone. They released him in my save. They didn't play him. They released him. I've got him, and he's like the best centre back in the game. And like Man City came in and wanted to offer me 80 million for him like 1 year later. I was like, what? Like, so maybe you missed out on a trick with that Liverpool player, Tony.
Maybe. I can't imagine anyone's going to come. Real Madrid aren't going to be scouting the National League North, going like, "Ooh, let's get him in now."
Was it Leone? What do you reckon? I was thinking, who's the? Oh, it's Luco 9, isn't it, at Sunderland? I was trying to think like players who just like joined the club at like a low level and stayed all the way through.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best you've had in football?
Kelly Radakampanzu from Luton that came all the way up.
Luton, yeah.
Have you ever had one in your save who you've taken from National League to?
I had a guy from National League South come to the Prem with me on my Stockport save. He was a Portuguese right back from the academy who was way above his station, and I got him in National League National League North at Stockport, and he played some games for me in the Premier League, mostly as a backup, like a third choice because I had some injuries, but he was still there, and he actually didn't like completely shit the bed. So I think that's the only time I've ever had someone that I wasn't keeping around for the memes actually be functional at that level.
It's a tough one.
I can't remember. And I don't think I did in the Blythe Spartans save. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to just say, oh yeah, I definitely did, because I'm not 100% convinced that I did. And then subsequently since then, I don't think I've managed to do the full National League North to the Premier League ever again. So that was a bit of a one-off. And in this save, it's just going to be a case of a player's going to retire in the National League North, like having come through the youth system, I reckon.
Your son will retire in National League North.
I have, but I was sort of forced to. So it was just like in Spain. It was at FN24, but we was doing some sort. I can't remember what team it was in Spain, but it was a youth only save. So you sort of had like no.
You
sort of have no choice.
I've still never done a youth only save. I am planning to do one this year.
I'm thinking about it.
I guess it depends where you are, but where I was, the team that I did it with, and because it was like you got into La Liga, it was just, you know what, it was just not worth it. It was just too many seasons of just, and like the first, it's just rocking up to games, knowing you're losing, and there's just nothing you can do about it. And it's just the highlight coming, and like, this is a corner. All your players are about 4 foot. Your goalkeeper is literally 5'8" because you can't buy any other goalkeepers. It's like, yeah, this is just not great.
Do you want to do a youth only network save? It would take forever.
A really interesting idea, but the problem with that is you need the seasons.
Yeah, you need the time. It would take too long.
You have to like instant result only.
Yeah, probably.
I guess the good thing in that way is you don't have to have a database, right?
Or transfer windows.
You don't have to worry about transfers or nothing, just match days.
That is a really interesting idea.
Literally just go on holiday to the match. Yeah. Oh! Literally just go on holiday at each particular game. Oh, wow.
And then
Build your tactics.
Let's do it. We can.
Oh, could you imagine on like youth intake day, we're all looking at our intakes. And one of you's like, I've got to be.
We'll start with like 1-star intakes because they wouldn't always particularly be on the same day because of the way that the hierarchies work.
Or you like you got an A, but it's a goalkeeper, and you got an A goalkeeper last year, and you got nothing else. You're like, just give me a right back. I just need a right back.
But then you could sell him and buy no one.
Yeah.
You could reinvest it in the club, perhaps.
Yeah, true. You kind of have to.
But, yeah.
You can do that in lower league Scotland. There you go. Double whammy.
There we go.
If anyone's ever done a youth-only network save, how long before you gave up? How far did you get?
I didn't get far. I don't think, I can't remember.
That was on your own.
Even qualified for Europe. I don't think.
I mean, if you got to Europe steps.
No, I'm saying I don't think we even got to just. I played like a few seasons in La Liga and just thought.
Oh, but what level did you start at?
Oh, that's another thing. I can't remember. It was quite low. But there's another thing because in La Liga, right, you've got the minimum release thing.
Yeah.
And I remember setting. Just listen to the chat sometimes. But I just remember just setting this guy's contract. It's just like 20 million, thinking that's a lot of money. We're in like La Liga 2, whatever it is. But also, he's not going to be that good. And the chat's like, nah, man, his determination's 20. He might be something. I'm like, determination's not everything. Giving it all of that, determination's not everything, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't got, look at his physical profile. And then because he has to play every game, I'm just seeing his profile rising, end of the season,
I love
wanted by
determination.
everyone in La Liga. I'm just like, you're fucked. So yeah, but I have quite a few of our players where the minimum release clause as well, because you're in La Liga, it's just you're messed. And some players just will not accept a ridiculous release clause.
What about
just mess?
What about a network director of football save? So none of us are actually in charge of transfers, and we have to just deal with whatever's chucked in front of us.
Trust me, having done 4 seasons of that Plymouth thing I'm working on, you don't want that.
No.
Particularly not if they're not any good at it. And obviously I'm doing that on purpose, but my God, I hope you like signing goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Oh. That Scotland save could just be a build a nation.
Build a nation, youth-only, non-league Scotland. There you go.
We could do Build a Nation, and it's like, Tony, why are you ruining this? I'm not trying.
We'd have to make ourselves unsackable.
Imagine trying to build a nation with someone. That would be so frustrating.
What, Build a Nation youth only? Yeah, the ultimate challenge.
Trying to do it with Tottenham. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to try it, we might as well try it soon, because we're going to need a full run-up to 27, given how we still haven't finished the FM24 network save yet.
I tell you what, our FM25 network save is going to be the World Cup mode.
FM25, yeah.
26. 26 mode. If they release it at some point in the near future.
I think there's more chance of FM25 coming out. Right, cool. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, let's have a think about that then, because again, we talk about it and it might be a thing further down the line. So let us know below if you'd like us to do a network save and what kind, and don't write it as second division of Brazil, because we're not going to do it. It's not the NBA, right? We don't need
third
80
division
games.
of Brazil. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. We're not idiots. Right, shall we Patreon, fellas?
Yeah.
Do we think? Lovely, excellent. Matt, where could you find additional Patreon content?
He's thrown it to me. I was not ready for that. Okay, fair enough. If you want some additional nonsense from us, which lately has been a lot of sporkle quizzery, you can find us on patreon.com/the FM Show pod, and you can support us for just £3 a month.
Beautiful. Aaron, he's almost going to take your job, but I reckon you do the socials. I reckon you do the socials better than that. Go on, hit me.
Wait, what's going on?
The socials. The socials.
My head is still thinking about the last.
You were too busy dancing.
Literally. But you can head over patreon.com/the FM Show pod. That's
Patreon. The socials, Aaron. The socials.
I need to get to it. Patreon.com/the FM Show pod, where you can support the Patreon from us little as £3. Forget the rest.
What do we need to say?
That's okay.
You can follow us on
Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram at the FM Show Pod, but also X. Make sure you send us some questions over on X. X is probably the best place to hit us up. So make sure you go on X. That is FM Show Pod over on X. X gonna give it to you.
and maybe can we join the Discord as well, Si?
Yeah, join the Discord if you want to email the FM Show Pod at Gmail. Gmail.com. I got it wrong. And TikTok as well. I finally remembered that we have to post TikToks. But
And remember, that's patreon.com/
you can find us on MySpace and all good platforms of social media.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate your support as always, everyone. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a like, give us a comment down below. And if you're one of the Patreon legends, come and hang out with us over on Patreon because we're going to go and talk some nonsense right there now. Take it easy, everyone. See you all next week.